are here at Essence Fest celebrating 30 years of culture, of blackness, of everything black we're doubling down on. And I'm really excited today because I'm speaking with Miss Brencia Berry, who is the political director at DNC. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. And what makes it even more wonderful for me that we are sitting right by a picture of Shirley Chisholm. People can't see it, and it says "in our seat" because she most famously said that if they don't bring you a seat at the table, bring your own folding chair.
Bring your folding chair,
baby.
And as Madam Vice President said, kick in the door if you got to. So right now we're at a point with the extremist Republicans where we're gonna have to kick in doors and we're gonna have to bring our folding chairs because they are coming for everything.
Let's talk about everything that they are coming for in this season. We're just, as Vice President Kamala Harris just told us a couple of days ago, that we are like less than 21 days away from the election. What is at stake? I know we say this, but make it real.
Yes. Okay, we do say this every single election.
We do, but this, honey, baby.
But yes, and where we are sitting is a prime example, okay? So I went to LSU. My whole family is from Louisiana. My grandma is 95 years old, and she started picking cotton when she was 5 years old in Tigers Bayou, Louisiana, upstate. And she worked her way through government, but she fought. Like, she didn't have the right to vote when she was born. We do. But we're seeing this regression where I'm less, when it comes to my reproductive health care and freedoms, I am less free than she was. Less free than my mom was. My mom never went to an integrated school here in Louisiana. So when we see what this governor is doing, it is a blueprint, and it is a Trump blueprint that they're going to take they have been taken everywhere.
Louisiana is a prime example. The governor in Louisiana, talk about, like, I really want people to know, people live in various states, so they may not be understanding the attacks that are happening in other states and how many red states are battlegrounds, are test grounds, especially when we look here, when we look at Atlanta, when we look at Georgia, Texas, but what's about to come to your area?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right now, and we can talk about Louisiana as a start. It has the strictest abortion ban in the country, along with Texas, because Texas also, they are trying to give women, and we know this is going to disproportionately impact Black women, the death penalty. For getting medical care that they need. Life or death. We saw this study come out that babies are actually dying at higher rates in these red states because of these awful laws. And that when we talk about Black maternal health, which the Vice President has been leading on
over and over,
it's very clear who is going to suffer. It's going to be us. And we cannot let that happen. And that's just one example. But then when we also talk about healthcare, capping the cost of insulin for seniors at $35.
If that didn't hit people, I'm just like, I know y'all know. We might have called it sugar and a whole bunch of other stuff, but these are real life things. And I even tell people when they talk about, well, when are you going to specifically say Black? And I said, I don't think people realize that this administration ordered all 95 agencies to come up with an equity plan within their departments to prioritize and reverse some of the things that we've seen, like redlining, which really devastated. Even on the right here, a young man was telling us about what one of the highways did and cut off his family, and he's 7 generations deep here. And he was like, and I don't know what to do.
And that's a great point about redlining and home ownership, because when you hear people say, from the administration, that we have closed the racial wealth gap the most in 30 years, that means that more Black people, because this administration has racial equity planning, are homeowners now than we've seen in the past 30 years. And that is what is increasing generational wealth, because more Black people have home equity, and that is how we're building wealth. And not to mention, Black-owned businesses have dramatically increased.
The most.
Black-owned businesses were closing under Trump. but they
talk about it.
But they opened under the Biden-Harris administration.
So I want to talk about, before we close, just the work of the DNC, because we are in a conversation right now. Well, right now, the two candidates that we have on the ticket are former President Donald Trump and current President Biden. This out loud conversation that the Democrats are having, should he be on the ticket? Should they not be on the ticket? It kind of bothers me, because I'm like, are y'all sticking or y'all not sticking? Because we don't see that happening on the right. So talk about this public discourse that we're having, and we're seeing the vice president have to come out and publicly tell people to get it together. This is who we have.
Yes.
Here's your choice in front of you, while at the same time, Project 2025 is staring you right in the face.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's a great example, because what we saw at BET Awards with Project 2025, like, we saw the Google rates increase to the highest level ever.
And then Trump came out and tried to distance himself from it. Your whole campaign has been working on this, and you've been in it.
Exactly. But that's part of what we're doing here. So we at the DNC and Team Biden-Harris, we're showing up in culturally relevant spaces. Yes, the vice president spoke on the stage, but where we're sitting is an example of the work that we're doing to show up, to talk to voters, to register people, to make sure they have the information that they need about what is at stake this election is precisely why we're here. And we did the same thing at BET Awards. We had QR codes during concerts for people to check their voter registration status.
Taraji P. Henson came out strong.
Yes.
Strong, yeah.
And telling people to go to iwillvote.com. We have a hotline, so if people are having issues with getting to the ballot and getting registered, we can help. We're here to help. We're working for everybody to make their sacred voice heard, their sacred right to vote heard. And look, when it comes to the speculation of people within the party and all of the, she said what she said. She is with Joe Biden. She is his partner, and they are going to win in November. And that is our work, is to support this historic Black woman who is our vice president of the United States, and make sure that we elect people up and down the ticket so that they can get even more done, because they did a lot with a Congress that wasn't giving them a lot.
How they got through the infrastructure bill, it was amazing. But we have to wrap. But let me just let people know, where can people go if they want to get more information?
So if you want to get more information about the campaign, go to joebiden.com. If you want to go get more information about how to make sure you're registered and that you're practicing your right to vote, go to iwillvote.com, and we will direct you to the right place in your respective state.
Brencia Berry, political director with the DNC. Thank you so much, sis, for coming on, as always.
Yeah.